Rob, I'm not really sure that Uber is worth $40 billion after someone put $1 billion of funding into it this week. I probably don't think you do either, but you seem a lot more positive on the business model. Explain.
Well, I think it's brilliant in the following sense. There is underused assets out in the world, and Uber is basically an IT system that allows those assets to come to life. So there's cars that aren't being driven very much, and there's drivers who have some free time and want to make a little money. And all Uber is a communication system that lets that happen. So it's a very low-cost business model, and it's a business model that can grow extremely quickly in a lot of different places.
Well, you've made a wonderful case there for investing in Airbnb and hotels, not cars. And look, at 40 billion,
Right.
Uber is worth in the neighborhood of a Peugeot, even a General Motors,
Right.
At the rate it's going. So
Right.
I want to know there, right,
Yeah.
what the total addressable market is, what the margins are, revenues, the works, really.
Right, before you pay $40 billion, and that's a fair point. And one thing that we should say right off the top is, although this is a networks effects business and a winner-takes-all business, Uber is not first to market in a lot of markets. In a lot of cities, especially in Asia, Uber is actually late to the game. So the thesis here is not that Uber is taking over the world. The thesis is Uber takes over in the places where it was first. I don't know how that helps you with your margin question necessarily.
Well, going to margins and talking about your original point, which is, they're just using existing capacity more efficiently. Okay, maybe, but what about if they actually have to start adding capacity and increasing capital spending as time goes on? And two things I'm looking at there are wages for drivers, really, or just the driver's share of profit. And again, like you said, that's very local. You're doing several labour markets there.
And it could cut against the winner-take-all model, right?
Yeah.
One other player in a market could drive drivers' wages up pretty strongly and cut into Uber's margins. Yeah.
And also, is Uber more like a car company, as its valuation is sort of implying, in a way, because car companies are at least partly in the business of financing or subsidising their customers' acquisition of cars, and I can kind of see that happening eventually with Uber. In order to keep drivers within this system and to attempt to be number one, they actually have to provide captive financing, and that gets quite costly quite quickly.
I agree with you that far, Joseph. The day Uber starts buying a lot of cars is the day Lex sells the stock.
Well, we'll be watching it for the list first. Thank you, Rob.
Sure.